Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but the penny turn red. Can't let that shit get in my head, war gaming.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. My name's Shane. This is Fox.
Hey, what's up?
We also have Churchy. We are your weekly tabletop hobby podcast.
No,
I just changed it up.
Yeah, I don't like it already. I hate it. Go back. I want old Shane back.
He's gone.
What are we doing?
We're talking about Age of Fantasy Quest.
That's right. That is a OnePageRules
Yep.
game where... No, I grabbed this. This is mine.
How rude of you to go to the fridge and not offer one for me.
Well, I felt yours before, and it was... Although it was thick, it was not empty.
It will be empty shortly.
Okay.
You got the reduced to clear $2 beer.
You almost made it come out of my nose, dude.
I know, I'm good at that.
I'll get one of your full price beers.
Is it because it has so many dents?
In this economy, you're going to have at me for trying to get a bargain
Oh,
deal.
no. Dude, this is a steal because these beers are normally like $6 or $7 each.
Correct. So it's a 4-pack is 23.
Yeah.
And if I had 4 of them, that'd be $8.
Yeah.
Now stop holding it and let me have it. Let me enjoy
warming
this.
it with my,
yeah,
with
don't
my
warm it.
grip.
Yeah, your thick grip. So we are talking about Age of Fantasy Quest.
Yep.
Which is a one-page rules game.
Yep. It's in beta.
It's beta. It's not an alpha.
Or a sigma.
Or a sigma.
Whatever that is.
No one even knows. Yeah. It is just a beta, a little beta boy. And if you want to know, I guess this episode assumes you know a little bit about Age of Fantasy Quest and the idea of it, because we're going to talk about sort of our, not first impressions, but rather our first impressions.
Pretty much. If you
after having played 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. If you are interested in Age of Fantasy Quest, hence another reason why you might have clicked on this video, we have a video on our second channel. We also have 3 battle reports.
Yeah.
We have a video on there how to start building your warband.
Yeah, it's like
your roster.
Getting started with Age of Fantasy Quest,
Yep.
then 3 battle reports.
Yeah.
And we plan on doing more, but after having played it, we sort of wanted to give our thoughts on the game.
Yeah.
Just like, initial impressions. So I want to know, Shane.
Yeah.
This is a solo, cooperative, dungeon crawling, I'm air quotationing.
Yeah.
You're not really in a dungeon, just a small skirmish game.
It's got that vibe though. It definitely has that dungeon crawling vibe where it's like you take on your first mission, which is essentially the first room of the dungeon.
Yeah.
You complete that, then you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And you can tailor it to be as long or as short as you want.
Yeah, which is ideal, because we don't get to do that for a lot of things in life.
No.
You just get what you get.
Yeah.
And it's the size that it is.
That's right.
But for this, as long as or short as you want.
Custom made.
Custom made.
Yep. So having played Rangers of Shadow Deep before, this game, it has a lot of similar... Well, there's really no similar mechanics, but it's the same kind of like playthrough. Like you're playing a mission, a scenario, and then you're moving through each mission onto the next one. So it's quite linear, but it gives it more freedom.
Okay.
Not sort of limited to sort of almost pre-made scenarios that Rangers kind of has.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. Because one of the problems I found with this game, it's got a lot of positives, but a few things that I was like, I don't really love that.
Yeah.
And one of those things was that the campaign part of it is very linear.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have all the extra bells and whistles of a campaign that, say, Parsecs or 5 Leagues does. Yeah. Where it's like you can send your crew away to do these things or look for missions or get cool new loot and mod your loot.
Like the between turns element isn't there.
Correct, yeah. It's like you do this battle, you get some gold, you use that gold to buy items. Those items therefore make you a stronger thing, so therefore you fight stronger things, and it's got a nice sort of gameplay loop, but it's not very satisfying.
Yeah, I feel like between missions, there's nothing. It's only between chapters when you can even go to the shop.
That's right, yeah.
So between missions, it is quite like, it's like the game's almost encouraging you just to go like, bang, 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 and do your 3 missions.
Yeah.
And then go to the shop and then, you know, spend your gold and XP and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Where with something like Parsecs, yeah, you've got so much to do, like you mentioned, with sending your crew off to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I can kind of see why they haven't got that in this. It's kind of like more, your whole chapter is more like a single mission, almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just, yeah, I definitely see what you're coming at, but I don't know. I think I too would like more between turns.
Yeah, and it's just like, I guess those other games that we mentioned, 5 Leagues, Parsecs, they assist you in telling a story.
Yeah.
This game doesn't really help you to do that.
No.
You've got to sort of tell your own story.
Yeah.
With your own mechanisms.
Yeah.
So, but the trade-off, I suppose, it drops some of that depth, but it adds like a real ease of getting into it.
Oh, it's so easy. Like it's got the OnePageRules system.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's like takes the 2-stat, you know, quality and defense.
Yeah.
Ups it a little bit. There's a little bit more there.
Yeah.
But it is just, it's a really good stepping stone for any of this kind of stuff.
It's great too, because if you just want to if you have like a fantasy army that you've painted at some stage that you don't really play that game anymore or whatever, it gives you a good excuse to use them. Because it's like, oh, all right, so that army that you painted 10 years ago or whatever, or 3 years ago, but you don't really play that game, you can make that the enemies for this campaign.
Yeah.
Make yourself a cool couple characters, or maybe you already have a couple fantasy characters from different things that you want to use.
Yep.
And you just jump on the app, make them up, you whip them up real quick. We had this discussion in the Discord that like, it's sometimes when you hear about a new game, you assume there's a level of a barrier.
Yeah.
To getting into it, whereas this one, whatever you assume, it's lower.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you jump the app, you go through. It's kind of a bit of a tutorial, so it's like, first make your hero, and you're like, oh, we've got this hero here, so he's probably a warrior, paladin, whatever.
Yeah.
I want them to have this ability. I'll choose this ability, and I'll give them this item. Bang, that's your hero done. All right, sweet. Next hero, and suddenly it's like, okay, cool. Roll up your mission. You're like, oh, sweet, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
It's not like the other games we mentioned that tell a better story.
Yeah.
But also, for 5 Leagues, you need to sit down and draw your map.
Yeah.
Put your locations on the map. Do a 6-party crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn a slightly more complicated rule system. So I guess that's the trade-off between... And it's a fair comparison because those are solo, co-op, fantasy, sci-fi games. Miniature agnostic. So it feels like a fair comparison to this one.
Yeah.
But I think it does trade the depth and story for simplicity and ease of access. That's been the vibe I get from it.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from, see what you have interpreted from there. I agree, definitely agree. There is a lot less to be told. The stories themselves, it's early days, I think, is all I can chalk it up to. I'd like to think that there'll be scenario packs and stuff that eventually come out as they expand on it. It's in a great spot where it is to start.
Yeah, if this is the starting point, that's a great point.
Yeah.
If this is the starting point, incredible.
Yeah.
Because the base game, the core game is fantastic.
Yep.
Even like in the Discord, like if you have rules question, you jump in the Discord. There's the Age of Fantasy questions like forum.
Yep.
That you can search through and be like, oh, no one's asked this question. The amount of times I've had a question and I've had a response within like 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'm posting Australian time.
Yeah.
So someone will jump in and be like, oh, do you mean this? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, well, this is the rules. Here's where you can find the actual like whatever. Even one time I was like, oh, we had that problem with the app. The guy who was like making the app was like, tell me more about that. And I was like, oh, all right, this is the guy that programs it.
You squashed a bug for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I'll send a video next time it happened. I never did, but I will.
Spiel.
I will. So they're excited about it. They're actively working on it. There's a good community that's going to help you like work through the rules. So if this is the starting point and you've got that support network for the game, I think there could be good things coming for it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing I think with all of the OnePageRules systems, like there's really good feedback from the community that have played it, and the developers take all that on board, and they change things that need to be changed. I think the fact that this has gone from something that I think was almost forgotten about, not forgotten about, but like pushed aside, and then they've brought it back as a beta with, I'm sure, it's almost like it's in version 2, I can imagine.
Sure.
And the fact that, that the release was really tight. They had the whole, article about it. It's all in the army builder. There's nothing that you need to. There's not another app for it, another book for it. It's all just to get together in one thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It was a lot of fun too, playing the game.
Yeah, it is. It's like whatever I thought it was in my head was exactly what it was.
Yeah.
On the when you're like, hey, there's this thing. It's OnePageRules. Sweet. So it's nice, easy, and light to play.
Yeah.
It can be all done through the app. Sweet, that's accessible for me. I don't want to write stuff out because whatever piece of paper I write it on, I'll lose.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all on the app. You can host a party and have people join it.
Yep.
And level up and get your gold and beat enemies and get stronger and fight stronger enemies from randomly generated pools of enemies. So it was exactly that. Like, it's exactly what you think it is. It's nice. Like, we could pick it up now, find our little armies in the app, roll up a mission, generate a wave, and go.
Yeah. Yep.
And every time we take a wound, it's all tracked through the app.
Every
time
really
we have a condition.
Yep.
Every time we kill something, destroy a wave. Every time we increase the threat level. Or what is it, awareness?
Awareness. Yeah. And it's got the thing too where it's like, what does this... what does this mean? And you just click on it, and it brings up the little bubble and tells you, what that means.
That's the OnePageRules difference.
Yeah.
It's like in the app, whenever there's a rule, you just hover over it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
this
is the rule. This is what it means.
Yeah.
Same thing if you print out your armies, like all the rules are down the bottom. So like, what does ambush mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's down here. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So it is super accessible. I think if I could go back in time, I wouldn't play on the easiest difficulty for our first chapter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I felt like that made the game a little bit more bland than it needed to be because we would just mow through that wave.
Oh, didn't we? Like, there was turns there where like one single combat and we would kill 3 of the ghost horde.
Yeah.
So that's 3 wounds done. That's like a lot.
Yeah.
And that was so disappointing.
Yeah.
Like.
And it's also, we were never threatened.
No, not at all.
I think, because our characters have 9 wounds each.
Yep.
I think in one game, once, you took 2 wounds.
Yeah.
And that's the most threatened we've ever been.
And had a condition. But
right,
but it was the same. And I think I took on 2 waves or something, like 2, units at the same time. And that being said, it would be good to try it again. Just at that harder difficulty, which I think we will in our next. We haven't done a second chapter yet, so I'm sure we'll up it a little bit.
I think we'd up it a lot. I think there's 4 difficulties. I think we jump from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And then play that through and see what that looks like.
And just get absolutely just minced.
I'd rather be minced and just be sweating. I feel like that's a better story.
Yeah.
That feels more real than just mowing through them and having turns where we're just walking around the board doing whatever we want.
Yeah.
Being oh, okay, let's check all this loot over here. Let's go stand up and try and pick up this objective and drop it a ton.
Yeah. Just Butterfingers.
Butterfingers.
That I think that's been fixed. I think there's been an update since we've played.
Yeah.
Because that sucked.
That did
actually
suck.
Sucked. Having a will roll of 6 to pick up the quest objective that you're standing on.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, they should have. I feel like from the start they should have used a system that was similar to the loot, right? If you're on top of the loot, you auto pick it up.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they didn't do that with the objective.
Yeah.
However, excuse me, they have fixed it.
Yeah.
Where you can spend 3 stress, I think it is, to auto pass.
Yeah, right. That's still a lot of stress though. That's my character fully stressed out.
Yeah, so but the amount of times we would have done that, especially when there's, if you wipe out a wave.
Yeah.
And the next one's not coming for 2 turns.
Oh, you'd take it because you could just rest and clear it.
You could rest up, pick that up, and then rest again
Yeah.
before the next wave is even on your doorstep.
Yeah, I still think like that's a good. I mean, it's a good fix. It's better than just sitting there rolling for a 6-up for half an hour.
Yeah.
But I still think it's probably could be done better.
Yeah, I think there's probably. Yeah, it's
Like even like a 3-up or like I don't know, but I get they're trying to use like a stat.
Yeah.
So like, what stat do you use?
Yeah.
You can't use your quality. You can't, like you have to use something.
What if like let's there's a few things. I reckon maybe you could auto pass, but if you do, the threat goes up by an additional 1.
Oh yeah.
So you could do that.
Yep.
Or an additional whatever that because it was going up by 1 for us because the difficulty was 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably goes up more when there's a higher difficulty.
There was some sort of something about it. Yeah.
But yeah, you could make it scale. So like
Yeah.
maybe the threat goes up when you complete an objective.
Yeah.
Like you can choose to auto pass, or you could, for every fail you do, the next time you try that same objective,
It's like
you've
a
got
plus
a +1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that stacks. Or
Yeah.
there's probably a few things. I mean, 3 stress is a nice, easy fix for now.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Definitely.
It's smooth. It works. So, and we would have done that every time.
Absolutely. Wouldn't even rolled for it.
It would have
I'm just taking the stress.
I wonder how much it would have sped up the games too, because there was a lot of time.
Probably like a good 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Like, I reckon especially the first mission, I reckon the first 3 turns at least,
Or just fumbling these objectives.
yeah, or like 3 turns each to
Yeah.
fumble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The amount of times. I think I almost said meow then.
I heard meow.
Did anyone else hear meow?
Yeah.
Let us know in the
They can't
comments.
answer.
Huh?
They can't answer you right now.
Let me know. Hang on, I'll wait.
I heard it.
Churchy heard it.
That wasn't Churchy. That was the audience.
The audience.
That was the collective. That was the collective voice of the audience.
I see.
So, Shane, we've played a few games,
Yep.
a few missions, which again you can go find our battle reports for
Yep.
on the second channel that we have.
Yeah, with a link in the description.
Yep, exactly. That's where you
Yep.
can find it, as well as the getting started. We've also, I think, done an episode on Age of Fantasy Quest.
We did one where I read through the.
Sure. I mean, you can go listen to that if you want, but I mean,
If you can read, I mean, you could read it
yeah,
yourself.
just read instead. Don't
Probably
listen to
better
that
than
episode.
trying to listen to me read it.
Probably less time too.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
less time.
Way less time.
So I want to know. Let's fast forward. So they're currently probably working on a sci-fi version of this game.
Yes. Grimdark Future Heroes, I think it's called.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And they'll probably try and release that. I think like next month or the month
I
after.
heard it was 6 months when after the Age of Fantasy Quest was released.
Sure.
So it probably is a month or 2 away.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I reckon that will get a lot of traction because solo, cooperative, miniature agnostic
Yeah.
games are all the rage.
Checking all the boxes, dude.
Yeah.
All the right boxes.
And it's funny because like even it's so on fleek that even Games Workshop is like, we should do solo co-op miniature agnostic.
They're only 10 years too late.
Yeah. Hey, better late than never.
Yeah,
Plus, the
yeah.
Games Workshop, they'll be like, we thought of this.
Yeah.
This is ours now.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
internet meme.
I made this.
I made this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know if you could add
Yeah.
stuff, like if you could build the alpha release
Yeah.
of Age of Fantasy Quest, what would you include? What would Shane include?
Oh, man.
Because you got to balance that up. How simple do you want to keep it
Yeah.
before it turns into 5 leagues? In which
Yeah.
case, just play 5 leagues.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
that other one,
Ranges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty. It's very on par for OnePageRules.
Right, that's the
It's-
goal. That's the core.
Yeah, it's got the easy accessibility.
Yeah.
Like, you can get straight into it. You can use whatever miniatures
free.
you've got. It's free.
free.
It's actually free.
I don't know. Well, you've got too many cameras there.
Yeah, true. I don't even know where to look anymore.
Or which ones work.
Ah, there's your hands.
My hands in it. Hang on, go back.
Ooh wee wee.
Ooh, wee, wee, wee. It's like I booted off. But it's you. What were you saying?
What would I change?
Yeah. What would you add? What would you put in there?
Oh,
What
I
does
don't
Shane
know.
want from this game?
I just want to have a good time, and I am. I already am. Right. I'm playing those 3 missions was probably the most fun that I reckon we've had in battle reports in a good while.
Wow. in goals.
Yeah. It was just like there wasn't like with these other systems. There's just so many rules to try and remember.
Sure.
And when the camera is on, the pressure is on, right?
Sure.
Like we obviously need to like at least look like we've got some kind of idea for the audience.
That's never been a problem for us before.
So it's always it's in the back of the brain.
You've
It's
never
kinda
cared
like,
about that before.
I can't look like a complete fuckhead. I need to look like somewhat of a fuckhead, but not like full blind.
I like in your head there's some like standard that people are holding you to of all people.
Maybe, I don't know.
You're like, oh, they respect me.
No one respects me.
These guys, I need to be on my best. These guys respect me.
I just imagine someone watching like, these guys are fuckheads.
Yeah, but I mean, they skipped off in season 2, bro. You don't have to worry about them.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
And
it's the French that you have to worry about. Yeah, 12% of our audience is French.
Wow.
Yeah, seems high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be higher, but they hate us.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're French.
Yeah. Well, it's down to 8% now.
No, I just know, like already knowing how OnePageRules run their system, right? It's easy. It's so easy to pick up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, off the top of my head right now, I can't think of anything that I would change.
Sure.
Or would have liked to see early on. It's covering all the bases. Maybe like you mentioned earlier, there's a bit of lacking between missions.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. Without turning it into 5 leagues or ranges, I don't know how to change that.
Yeah.
What would you? I'm gonna Uno reverse that question on you.
You would. You would. I haven't prepared. I would say, yeah, I agree with you. You want this to still be OnePageRules.
Yeah.
Something that you pick up with people that have never played tabletop games or...
So good for that.
Yeah. Or even just people that are like, imagine you got 4 mates over.
Yeah.
And instead of a board game, they're like, have you got any of those tabletop games you could like show us? Like,
Yeah.
can we play? This is one of those games where it's like, hey, go over there, just pick a character you think is cool.
Yeah.
And let's all make up that character. You've still got the ghostly horde, because when you make that thing, it's like a separate thing.
Yeah.
So it's a separate list of enemies that's saved in your OnePageRules profile account, so that if the 3 of us decided, and Rory, let's pretend Rory's here, Rory grabs a character off the shelf, and we all make a character.
No, Rory,
each.
that's a Space Marine. You can't use that one.
We'll be like, you know what, you do whatever you want, but please, it's a fantasy game. Don't be an idiot. Don't use that. But he's like, this is my favorite thing. This is all I want to play as. Yeah. It's like, you know what, maybe this isn't for you, mate. Maybe you're using too much imagination.
True.
Maybe you're having too much fun. Back. Yeah. Put that back and go home. And that's why he's not here. And so we could all make up that character and just be playing within like half an hour. And you teach them the game for 15 minutes and they would get it after that. They wouldn't have to be like, oh, so what's this rule do? It'd be like, bro, just check the bottom of the page or like hold it down on the app. Yeah. So you want to keep that.
Yeah.
Because if you want it to be immersive and in-depth and have all these different options, there's other games that do that.
Yeah.
You don't need this game to do that. Mm-hmm. If I could add something, I would add just like, I don't know what it would be, but some sort of system that captures you moving from this battle to this battle.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but maybe it's like an event that just happens between the battles.
Like something you can roll on a table for? Like
maybe it's you roll on a table and it says, this thing happened.
Like a travel event?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you start the next mission with this condition.
Yeah.
Or you start the next mission and you pass your first anything roll.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
This thing happened, so thus in this next battle, this happens. Or this happened, gain an experience. This happened, heal 2 health. Some sort of, travel event.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a good...
Just simple enough
that
it doesn't change the core game, but it's just adds a bit of flavor, adds this, story to the campaign.
Yeah. Like all of these kind of miniature agnostic, solo, cooperative, campaign-driven games, they all have some kind of out of gameplay turn, right?
Yeah.
Where this doesn't. There's
no, it doesn't.
nothing you can do between tabletop missions.
Except, like you say, when you finish a chapter,
Then you go to the
spend your
store.
gold.
Yeah, but that takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
You just go, I have the hammer.
Yeah. Or it's like, no, I'll just bank it.
I was banking for that. Yeah, for the next one.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that adds that out of like that was one thing about Parsecs that I loved, where it was like, even though I'm not on the like moving models around the table right now, I'm still playing the game.
Yeah.
You could be at work, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I didn't do my, I think like, all right, I'll bring the PDF up and a dice roller.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you could play the game while you're not playing the game.
Yeah.
So that was one massive thing with that style of game that was new to us. I think really we hadn't played anything like that until Parsecs. And I feel like this game could maybe utilize something, like that. That's yeah.
Yeah, and I think and the only time I've ever had that experience was with Gloomhaven.
Oh yeah.
Where when you travel to your like dungeon or whatever, you do it, or back to the city to the store.
Yep.
You always flip a city or like a travel card.
Yep.
And that it was an event, and it would be like, this thing happens.
That's cool.
And it was always minor, but it just gave you that vibe where it's like, it's not just straight from the town to straight to the battle.
You're not teleporting there.
There's something in between,
Yeah.
and you know, it's not as simple as walking on a road and then suddenly you're just like, to the left of the road is the dungeon.
Yeah.
You know, there's something in between that, and I always thought that was like a really important tie-in.
Like a giant spider.
Something. You tripped over and you've got a scratch on your knee. And now anytime you take a damage to your knee, or an arrow perhaps, then it does double damage. So it can be minor, but it just helps give it more of a story vibe. Then it's like, hey, you fight this battle, then you fight this battle, then you fight this battle. You go back and buy a hammer, and then you fight this battle, and you fight this battle. You know, especially when you're talking about a quest.
Yeah, you're right. There's more to the quest than just killing mobs and fetching items.
Yeah. Imagine if like the Fellowship of the Ring all you did was you took out all the in-between stuff and it was just fight after fight after fight.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to see that. Someone mix that up on YouTube.
Why would you do that?
I want to imagine that.
Taking all the good bits.
Are you telling me?
Potatoes, dude.
Potatoes?
Potatoes.
What can you do with potatoes?
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Yeah. Classic. I don't know. I've only seen the battles. I've only seen Helm's Deep.
This nerd.
And Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
But that's probably all I would add.
Yep.
You know, like I wouldn't try and put too much on a game that you don't want too much on, because then it becomes something else.
Yep.
Couple stories. I believe it has, we haven't played with them yet, but it would be cool to add it to our next chapter. And it's got events, which happens, I believe, between turns.
Okay.
And every single turn you can roll up this event.
I like that.
Yeah, I can't quite remember anything about it, but I remember seeing that as something we didn't do. I believe there's conditions and other stuff as well, which might be cool to add some depth to the actual... But it's all, again, the tabletop experience.
Yeah.
Not much outside of that. But I feel like, in my mind, the real progression for Age of Fantasy Quest will come through the sci-fi version, Heroes.
Yeah.
Because more people will play that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to know the numbers of people play Grimdark Future versus Age of Fantasy. It's probably double.
If I had to hazard a guess, it would be 3-1.
Oh, you got triple.
Only because that's the numbers of 40k versus Sigma players.
Yeah, fair. I'd say it just reflects.
I imagine it's, you know.
Yep.
If you assume the games are just as good.
Yep.
The models in Sigma are arguably cooler looking. Then it must be just the appeal of the, what do you call that?
Aesthetic.
That's the one.
Okay.
Theme?
I got you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Must be just the appeal of the theme that drives those numbers. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's trickle down thematics.
Thematic.
But
Yeah.
that's what we like, dislike, would add about Age of Fantasy Quest, and hope to see.
Yeah. That's cool. It is a lot of fun. It's been great. I'm looking forward to doing more of it. It's been good.
I would say if you want a game that you're going to be able to sit down once a week, play it, talk to your friends about it, immerse yourself in it, this ain't it, to be honest. That's one of those other games that we talked about.
Yep.
That's one of the games that has a story.
Yep.
If you want to jump in with your friends, have a few brews, play through
Yep.
a story that you could talk about together because of the crazy thing that happened on the tabletop,
Yep.
or because you'd had too many beers and thus the crazy thing is intensified,
Of course.
then this is that game
Yep.
where it's light work. It's light work and a lot of fun, as opposed to heavy work and maybe slightly more fun.
Yeah.
That's how I'd put those.
Why
two.
have more work when less work do trick?
Yeah. That's the motto for this game, as well as Age of Fantasy Quest, better than the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And better
Yeah.
than my vest.
Yeah. You're not wearing a vest.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what?
Oh,
We are
tell me.
getting close to 1,000 subscribers.
That's true. We
pretty
have.
cool.
That is cool, actually,
It's pretty cool.
because we did say it would take us 5 years to get there,
Yeah.
and we said that a year ago.
Yeah, 5 years from now.
From now.
Last week.
Starting now.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
cool because it just ticks up passively in the background. And
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, wow, cool, we're almost at 1,000 subs. But then you go, there's 1,000 people out there
Yeah.
that at one point went, I choose you,
Oh, yeah.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
I choose you over everything else that's, well, not over everything else,
No,
but
no.
as well as everything
as,
else.
as well as literally everything
I'm
else.
going to click the red button because
Yep.
something that you're doing, I want to see more of. That.
Yeah, like give me more. Like I need more of this, whatever this is,
Yeah.
in me.
Think about that for a second.
Yep.
Of what you just said. Just have a long, hard think about that.
I do every day.
Yeah.
Every time I go to bed.
Someone watches what we do
Yep.
and wants more of that. And that blows our mind every day. That keeps us
wild.
going. That keeps the
wild.
lights on. That's why we got
Yep.
purple lights.
Yeah, purple lights and white lights.
Yeah. Not that they're any better than any other kind of lights.
Oh no, but they just
No.
illuminate the room.
Yeah, it's just a good, nice cold wash. All right, so yes, that is
Yep.
crazy. Thank you all to helping us continue our journey to 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed, that's okay. You don't have to. That's
No.
the power of YouTube.
No one's making you, but we would appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, if we could make you, like
Yep.
if we could tie you up and put you in a room and hold a gun to your head,
Yep.
obviously we wouldn't do that.
No, we
for
can't get
legal
guns in
reasons.
Australia.
No, yeah, but if we,
Yep.
we'll hold a slingshot or a
Can't even get
boomerang.
slingshots too.
Or a boomerang.
All right.
Yeah, a stick.
Yeah.
We'll point a stick aggressively at you and suggest that you should do it, but you don't have to.
No, no one's forcing you.
But if we could,
But if we could,
we would.
we would.
Yeah.
Yep.
So consider that, please.
Yep.
Before we show up at your house with a stick.
You know what's also awesome?
Um,
Our patrons.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are.
Yep.
They are awesome.
Yep.
They're incredible. Thank you to our patrons.
Massive thank you to our new patrons this month.
Oh yeah, we've got a dozen.
We have got like
a
5.
baker's dozen.
Isn't that 13?
Oh, do we have 13?
No.
Okay, we got 5. We do, yeah.
Yep.
We have some new OGs. We've got Fishman.
Fishman, of course, man and fish.
And we've established that it's the good kind of Fishman.
Yes.
So that is whatever you choose it to be.
Yep. And EU warrior.
IO Warrior.
It's a StarCraft fan.
Is life for IO.
Yep.
Well, now that's not a... IO Warrior is not a new homie. It's been in the Discord for almost a literal year. We have forgotten his shout out.
He's just slipped under the radar.
That's not good enough.
Oh, it's so bad.
You need a spanking, and so do I.
We both need a spanking.
That's right.
From Churchy.
But we're sorry, IO Warrior. You deserve way better.
Yeah.
You've been a potent and key individual in the Discord. And we appreciate
Absolutely.
you. And we're sorry we didn't shout you out sooner.
Yep.
And every week that you deserved it. So thank you for being patient. Heck, still today hasn't been like, I just noticed I'm not getting a shout out or anything.
I know. What's
Yeah.
wild? That is actually wild.
So you're a legend. Thank you so much. Well,
Yep.
you're not a legend. I mean, you're an OG. You're an OG. Is that it here? No, it's legendary.
You build him up, just knock him down again.
yeah. That's how he knows he's one of the homies.
Yeah. He's in. He's in. We also have a couple of main homies. We've got Walt.
Thank you. What?
Fox is dying. And we've got Dazza.
These two cameras. This one's on the fritz. Just
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
because
we got you.
this one
And that one.
keeps
All right.
And
I
Dazza.
give up on Fritz.
Yeah.
I've been trying to sneak it in. But
We noticed. They
He's
did,
always
but
trying
we
to
did.
sneak. It's always trying to sneak it in. Darren M.
Yep.
Dazza.
And Walt.
Thank you. And
Yep.
Walt. Yeah. We've also got a new homie.
Yep.
Boat of Car.
Boat of Car.
If you've ever been a boat or a car, well, this is a boat of
He's
a car.
both.
He's
Yep.
both.
Yep.
Like a bad transformer. Yeah, how Transformers transform in.
Like from a car to like a cool thing.
Yeah.
He transforms from a boat into a car. And
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's more practical.
that is way more practical. I'd rather be inside a boat that goes into a car than
Yeah.
inside a car that goes into Bumblebee.
Imagine, yeah, you're right. Because once it transforms into Bumblebee, you've got to get out.
How can you?
So he can do his thing.
Maybe he just shits you out.
I think you get out first and then they transform.
What if you didn't?
You get crushed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the SES has to jaws the life you out of there. He's like, I can transform back, but I think it will make it worse.
They're like, no, we love using this thing.
Yeah, no, we get paid for this. Let us have this.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, it kind of hurts. But yeah, whereas a boat that you could drive, no wait, yeah, you drive the car
Yeah.
to the dock,
Yeah.
and then it turns into a boat.
But while you're in it,
Oh, what if it did smoothly? So like you're in the driver's seat of the car,
the wheels just go like, "Whoop."
you just hear a bunch of noise, it's
Yeah.
smooth as butter,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're in a boat.
But do you have to drive the car into the water first, risk the boat transformation not happening, and then your car's just
It's
Absolutely.
aqua activated transformation. So you drive the car in,
yep.
and you don't even notice, but like the second it hits the bumper hits the water, that's the
Oh yeah.
that's the activation.
Yeah.
It's like the activation.
yeah. Like touch sensitive.
Yeah, it's like an
aqua
airbag.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Yep.
But instead of the airbag, it's a boat.
Okay, cool.
And then suddenly you're in a boat, and you can ram that boat up the ramp,
Yep.
and then suddenly you're in the car
You
again.
just keep going.
You like
so it's like a
it's-
jump. So you come in and like hit the ramp and
Yeah,
you're like
and
up.
you get and then you're in a McDonald's drive-through,
Nice.
and you've ended the
You
day.
get your soft serve.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
That's sick.
what were we talking about? Thank you to our patrons. For as little as $2 a month, you're going to get early access to this
Hey,
garbage.
don't forget Tom is cool.
And Tom is cool.
Tom is the coolest.
Tom, well, now who's belittling people?
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying he's cooler than Boat of Car?
Well, he's giving us more money.
Yeah, he's paying us to say he's cool than Boat of Car. But Tom doesn't turn into a boat or a car.
No, he doesn't.
But he is cool. Thank you, Tom. You're
Thank you, Tom.
legendary.
Yep.
We appreciate you. You're awesome. We've been chatting and chirping in all kinds of DMs. We got so many different types of DMs.
Yeah, right. You slipping?
What?
You slipping?
This is what happens when we let Shane hang out with like people under 20.
You slipping into those DMs?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm slipping into all the DMs, dude.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, Tom. You're a legend. We also have a ton of other homies
Yeah.
in the Discord
Yep.
and in our Patreon.
We do.
For as little as $2 a month, like I was saying. Early access to videos like this.
Yeah, you were saying that, dude.
And a heap of other rewards. Go check it out.
Yep.
And thank you.
Yeah.
We have many homies. We've added Boat of Car.
We have added Boat of Car.
We've got main homies as
of
well.
course. Yep. Legendary of MJ, Moose, Fat Boy, and Tom. Tom is cool. A real one. Numa, that's you, Numa. The Goat, Burnsy, Fine Dinosaur, Hockers, Gridlock, Journeyman.
We've also got the OGs, Fishman, The Good Kind, Are You a Warrior, Churchy, Rad, Ollie, Pinny, Aggro, Don Hua Don, Pure Blind, Jackson V, Mini Walmart, Oz Wargaming, and a Logline, and Big Roach.
It's not the same when that camera's playing up.
Oh yeah, sorry. We're gonna have to do it again.
We'll risk it. We'll risk it.
Hey! We're back, baby. Roach.
You said we'll do it again.
Yeah, you didn't bring the same energy that I brought.
What do you mean? I had more energy than
we
you
were
did.
mismatched. We'll see you next week.
Hooroo.
Watch.
Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny turn red.